start with some questions now. What is the difference we can have between this operator or this method and the super method in Java?
Uh, can you please repeat? I didn't get your question actually.
So, so I'm saying that what is the difference we can have between this method and super method in Java?
This is something like for the current object, right? And super is
Okay.
something to call to the hierarchical super class of that particular class. So
Okay.
I can give you an example like if I need to let's suppose I have one employee class, right? There we have ID.
Mhm.
Now if I want to assign some value to this ID, so I can use the constructor parameterized constructor and put value that this dot ID equal to ID, where ID is coming from the parameter. So this is something a use of this, right? But if I want to use some super class constructors in that, so I will use super keyword there. So that's the difference.
Okay. Any other difference you can point out?
Any other difference? I think that is the main only. I
Oh,
think I'm
okay,
aware of
that's good.
this only. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, what is the Java string pool? What do we call this term?
Okay. So what happens, right? Whenever we are going to create any new object, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
string we can create this new object using the new keyword, but that will actually store those new objects inside the heap memory, so that is not a good approach, right? So what Java provides us a good thing like a string pool, which is a better approach. So let's suppose I don't want to create an object using the new keyword, right? So how I can create that in the string? So I can do something like string as equal to and some value to that in the double quotes directly. So
Okay.
this is the how we assign values in the string pool. So now the object will be created, but the difference is that it will not go inside the heap memory, but it will go inside the string pool, and it will check if that particular value is already there. If it is there, then that s, which is a new pointer, will point to that already existing data, and it will not create a new object in that case. So ultimately we have a better memory saving approach in this string pool. So that's the mechanism.
Okay. Got it. And then what is constructor chaining in Java?
Yeah, so uh, see, construction chaining, as name suggests, right? So we can like in project we can have a need to initialize one class, and then depending upon that by default calling to another class, and like that hierarchy. So that can be possible, right? With the super keyword too we can use do that.
With the help of super keyword, right?
Yeah, with the help of super keyword, as I explained you earlier, so we will be able to call the constructor of parent class. So that is what constructor chaining.
Good. And I mean, what is the difference between the string and string builder? What is the need of string builder when we already have a string?
Yeah,
Have you ever used? I mean, did you get chance to use a string builder?
yeah, several times. Even in current project too, we are using string builder only.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I will give you an example. Currently, one of my colleague was doing some mistake last in the last
Okay.
release only. So there was some concatenations was going on, right? So
Okay.
what she did, she used a string object. So ultimately,
Right.
at the result, what we were getting, a lot of repetitive strings were coming in the response. So then I found that actually we should use string builder in that case, but not the string. So and when I use string builder, the problem got resolved. So main difference is what in string is immutable, right? So whenever we are going to concat anything. So it will create a new object every time, but we don't want to do this in real life scenarios because it will consume a lot of memory in that case. So string builder will be a better approach because if we have option of append in that, and it will save our memory. It will not create object every time.
And what is a map in Java?
Map, I would say, like it's not a part of collection, but it will act like a collection only. And
Mhm.
map generally will be in the form of entry key value pairs, so we can save our values in on the particular keys, right? So it is better to do that because during the at the time of getting the data, it will be easier. We just need to pass the key and we can get the values.
But can it contain duplicate keys?
Of course not, because in that case it will be confused, right?
Mhm. Okay. And what is the difference between the array and the array list?
Okay, so array is like very very traditional approach where we have to first fix the size and we have to decide what size we will be using, right? So let's suppose
Right.
I will be creating five elements in the array. So the problem here is the five is fixed. We cannot do anything later. If we want to add sixth element, we will not be able to do that. But in array list,
Mhm.
size is not fixed. There should be some load factor. By default, we have some value of that, or we can also change. So what will happen if the number of entries and elements in that list increased more than the load factor, then it will increase the size too. So there is no this is something dynamic. So array list is the dynamic and array is like a static. So that's the main difference.
Any other difference in terms of holding the data of array and array list sources behind it?
Yeah. So array will save all the data in a consecutive manner only. So if we see the addresses in the array, the addresses will be the like incrementing form. But in array list, I don't think that that is mandatory. Data can be saved at any different locations and can be joined. I think so.
So in array, can it contain values of different data types?
No. That should be same only.
And in array list,
In array list, Uh, in array list too, one second, one second. I have like array list. If I add yeah, so that actually depends upon the generics. So if we don't define any generic, then all type of values can be saved, right? But that is not a good approach because
Mhm.
if we are going to use those values, then that will absolutely create a problem. So we should go for generics in that case, and generics will restrict to save the types.
And what is the daemon thread in Java? Why do we call a thread to be a daemon? In which case, we call it a daemon thread.
Daemon thread, I can guess because I'm not sure. So
Mhm.
it may be like when a thread goes to a situation uh, that it is not in use further, so it will be in a daemon state, and like it can be stopped or it can be destroyed whenever required. So I think something like that only.
What is object cloning in Java?
Cloning is something like, as name suggests, so whenever we have some object, we also need sometimes to do a to replicate that object, right? So we can clone that object with some clone methods we have in the object class. But yeah, so cloning can be shallow or deep cloning. Shallow will be like it will not copy each and every sub objects of that particular object, but in deep, each and every element will be copied.